Pretty good qualifying session from the Ferrari point of view, and let's hear from Felipe Massa's race engineer Rob Smedley.
Yes, thank you very much, Steve, down here in Ferrari, and a very happy Rob Smedley. That all went according to plan. How good was the lap considering the fuel load he's got on?
Very, very good. Very, very good. You know, I mean, every now and again you see him do these stunning laps, you know, fantastic laps, and today he's done one. You know, the fuel is quite normal. We even discussed quite a lot whether we were a little bit heavy, but you know, in the end we've gone and done the right thing, and just a stunning lap, to be honest.
How's he reacted though? How's the kid doing? The pressure of his home crowd and indeed the pressure of the World Championship.
Well, I think we're pretty relaxed, to be honest. You know, it's a funny weekend for us because we've come here with the aim of getting pole position, so we've done that and winning the race, and then the rest is really in the lap of the gods. So we're all completely relaxed. You know, I mean, it's a funny weekend. You know, if they weren't paying me to do it, I would say I was having fun.
I'm sure you are. What can we expect from tomorrow? I mean, as you say, your job is pretty simple, and what do you think the pressure will tell on Lewis and McLaren?
Well, that's where all the pressure is, isn't it? You know, I mean, unfortunately for them people, and we've been in that situation before, all the pressure is there because it's everything to lose. So I don't know. I mean, you know, pressure does funny things and forces you into to funny decisions. You know, especially in the cockpit at 300 kilometres an hour. So we'll have to see tomorrow. But for us, we're relaxed.
Okay, Rob, thanks very much.
Rob Smedley is always relaxed, and his driver is pretty relaxed on pole position for tomorrow's race. Let's hear from Felipe Massa.
Aiming for, and after that it's not up to us anymore. If we just can finish where we want, and we see what happens after that.
There's a big sigh there from Kimi Räikkönen, and he said, I did more or less what I was supposed to do. How enthusiastic, genuinely, do you think he is about helping Felipe Massa towards the world title?
I think he will have some enthusiasm there because it's, you know, a team Ferrari. They've had situations before where Kimi's been helped. As here last year when Massa basically gave him the win. So, you know, I think Kimi will do whatever he can, but what it does is another thing, and whether it helps is also something we'll have to look at. But I think, you know, it's a big concern that there's a couple of Ferraris in front of Hamilton, and I think that's going to be something he's thinking about.
And we haven't really given due credit to Jarno Trulli and his front row position, but what do you think his role might be tomorrow, just to get out of the way in many ways?
Well, I think he's going to try and go for gold in many ways because, you know, he's got pretty much a light fuel load on. I think that's going to be quite evident, but saying that, I think he'll go for glory and maybe make things a little bit difficult. You know, the problem is then if he starts to slow up, then everyone's going to be backing up behind him, and Massa's going to get further and further away probably.
But in those opening laps, if Trulli is out there and aggressive, that's good for Lewis.
Yeah, in some ways I think that is possible, Steve, but you know, I think all those guys up there, when they start leading into one, they're all hustle and bustle. Yeah, I mean, last year we can have a look at and we can see what basically went on there. You go into turn one and you've got those guys in close proximity, and once they're got the racing brains in, anything can happen. And you know, we saw Lewis Hamilton in Japan. He made an error of judgment. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
But potentially, it's ironic, but it's got so many of the same ingredients of last year, and you just dread what happened at the first couple of corners to Lewis happening again, but it could.
Never say never, and I think, you know, the thing with F1, as we've said over this season, is you cannot predict anything. You just go across from 2007 Brazil race and we see the two Ferraris get off the line. You know, the scenario here is always in turn one that there could be an accident, there could be something go wrong. If Ferrari gets a little bit loose.
And that's exactly what the Ferraris could be doing tomorrow, just to back Lewis up a bit, really mess up his start, mess up his race.
Yeah, 100%, and I think that's something that they've got to be really concerned about. You know, at the end of the day, Lewis, I know, has got to make a situation where he just keeps Massa in line, keeps him in check, but he doesn't want to get mixed up with anybody else. And when you've got people up there like a Trulli, like an Alonso, you know, Trulli hasn't been on the front row for a long time. I mean, we're not too sure what the Toyota start's like or anything like that at this point.
And behind Lewis, of course, is Fernando Alonso on that grid. And also, sadly, behind Lewis, alongside Alonso, is Lewis's teammate, Heikki Kovalainen. How much use is he going to be from that position? Let's hear from Heikki.
Well, how'd it go, Heikki? The team seemed very pleased with the fuel levels involved.
Yeah, I think so. If you look at the Q2, we are, and even Q1, we are right up there. And then going backwards a little bit in Q3, I don't think it's just that you know, we've suddenly lost a bit of pace. I think the strategies are probably slightly different, and tomorrow is a long race, and even that stable weather might be a factor. So I think we are well prepared, and I'm very confident.
A few audio problems with that interview with Heikki, but in some ways the audio should have been better, but his performance should have been better as well.
I think he'd be disappointed because he was very quick, the quickest guy out of everybody in the second session, and we anticipated that that would run into the third session and the final one, and you'd see that McLaren and Kovalainen on the front row at least. Didn't happen. He's there, but he's not there, you know, really where McLaren need him. But again, Ferraris are the main factor in this race, and I think that's the concern for Lewis.
And also the main factor is Lewis Hamilton's mindset, the patience and the composure that he'll show there at the start tomorrow, and we can talk to Lewis right now.
Lewis, you're starting from fourth place on the grid. All you've got to do is finish in that position tomorrow and you're world champion. Just how easy is it going to be to do that?
I think finishing in that place is probably not such a... I mean, it's going to be a tough race for sure. Like, looking after the tyres, I'm comfortable with the fuel strategy we have. I think, you know, obviously the guys in front are probably going on a different strategy, which could be good, could be bad for them, and we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. But we're in a great position to finish where we are and even make some steps forward.
How much of a concern is it, though, that Felipe is on pole?
Not so much. I mean, for sure, that's where he needs to be, and you know, all the best to him, really. But you know, we're just gonna focus on my job, and like you said, you know, I don't need to finish. I don't need to do anything spectacular. I just need to bring the car home in some good points.
It's going to be so important to keep your head in this race. Has the result of this qualifying session put any extra pressure on you?
I don't think so, but I mean, obviously, it would be nicer to be further up ahead. But I think with the strategy we have, it's quite good.
But I think deep down, maybe Lewis is feeling that this World Championship challenge tomorrow has suddenly become a whole lot tougher.
I think definitely that is the case. I think he's got a situation what he didn't anticipate. He would really like to be sitting there in the front row at least and have the air of confidence, but not quite like that. And, you know, as we say, anything can happen off the start line of a Grand Prix, and we've seen it time and time again. It's not the great place to be, second row, and I think, you know, those guys in front could do something special.
But he's won from the second row before. One thinks back to Silverstone in particular. Rain at Silverstone, rain possibly forecast here again tomorrow.
That's a big plus point for McLaren. If the rain does come in tomorrow afternoon, I think that's going to really play into their hands. Ferrari will be in trouble, but saying that, though, you know, if there is rain around, it can also create havoc, chaos. If you get mixed up in that because you're a couple of rows in, yeah, all of a sudden it's all over.
So, a huge challenge for Lewis Hamilton tomorrow, and a bit of a challenge for you as well. One more chance at our ITV F1 competition.
Now this week's competition, and for our final race of the season, we've got a fantastic prize for you thanks to Hilton Racing. It's a trip for two to the first race at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi on the 14th and 15th of November 2009. You and a friend will be flown to Abu Dhabi on the Thursday before the race. Have 4 nights accommodation in a 4-star Hilton hotel, transfers to and from the track, plus 3-day grandstand tickets to enjoy the thrilling climax to the 2009 Formula 1 season. Here's Lewis with the question.
To be in with a chance of winning this great prize, courtesy of Hilton Racing, just answer this question correctly. Abu Dhabi is the capital city of which country? Is it A, Egypt, B, Morocco, or C, United Arab Emirates? Good luck.
Cheers, Lewis. So to enter, call 09049 596789. Calls cost £1 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles will be considerably more. Or you can text the word F1 in your answer, A, B or C, to 63337. Text costs £1 plus 1 standard network rate message. Digital, satellite and cable viewers can enter by pressing their red button now. You can also enter for free at itv.com until 5 p.m. on Friday the 7th of November. Entrants must be 18 or over, and lines close at 5 p.m. on Tuesday the 4th of November. Entries made after closing time won't be counted but may still be charged.
Good luck with that. Mark, how excited are you about tomorrow? How nervous are you?
I'm a little bit nervous, I must admit, but excitement is also there as well. I think we're about to see history being made. Lewis Hamilton, youngest ever world champion. It is a big possibility, and the odds are there that it can be done. But saying that, I have to really underline, you know, anything can happen in Formula 1, and tomorrow is not, you know, a situation where it may not.
Reliability, rain, we depend on it all tomorrow. Mark, thanks very much indeed. Before we remind you about our coverage tomorrow, quick reminder also that Darts, the European Darts is currently on ITV4, and that will reach its climax on ITV4 as well tomorrow afternoon. Also tomorrow, the big day starts with football highlights of the Championship, 10:25 ITV1, and then the Brazilian Grand Prix itself. After a rerun of qualifying on 4, our live race build-up will start at 4 o'clock ITV1. What exactly will we be celebrating 3 hours later? Highlights 10:45 tomorrow night. It's going to be tough, and for Lewis Hamilton, maybe it's going to be tougher than we imagined or he imagined as well. He's still World Championship favourite, though. Make sure you're with us for live coverage from Brazil tomorrow afternoon.